All right, we need to have this conversation. We do. Did Patrick Mahomes choke away in this AFC Championship game? Was he the reason they lost, or just did he choke in general? Because again, was he the reason they lost? That's hard, right? He had such a good first half. He did so many good things. A lot of times on broken plays, too. It wasn't like guys were getting wide open and he was just hitting them. I mean, that happened a little bit, but there certainly was an element of him like scrambling outside the pocket because nothing is open, finding an open guy, hitting him. That happened, and we can't take that away from him. But late in the stretch, I mean, this is twice now against the Cincinnati Bengals where they were up 11 and Patrick Mahomes made way too many mistakes in the second half. Although the first game, it's like, and there were 3 drives, who really cares? In this game, he had plenty of opportunities and made plenty of mistakes, only scored 3 points in both of the second halves against Cincinnati and will not be going to the Super Bowl. And if Mahomes played his best football, they would be. There's no denying that. And kind of what I always say about these things is I hold these guys to higher standards. I do. I don't hold Patrick Mahomes to the same standards I hold Mitchell Trubisky or like a Jared Goff. You know, when Jared Goff screwed up the Super Bowl, like it sucked, but he's Jared Goff. Like you don't expect him to be amazing. There were just too many mistakes with Mahomes. I mean, even the ones that didn't cost him. He tried to give the ball. I mean, he was trying to give the game away at the end there. The fumble, which is just inexcusable. There's no way you should fumble, when you're down 3 inside field goal range on a third down. Just don't fumble. I think about what should have been an interception to Eli Apple that should have allowed Eli Apple to, if not score, at least kick a game-winning field goal and win it that way. That should have happened. And then the actual interception, which, I mean, that was a tough play. A great play by Jesse Bates. Like, you got to give him credit. Okay, great defensive play. I don't even actually think that was the worst one. I think out of those 3, that one's the most understandable. But still, you got to make stuff happen. And again, you had opportunities to win that game outright, and you weren't able to do so. And even because again, okay, I don't know everything that happened. I'm not watching the All-22. I'm watching the broadcast. So it's certainly possible, I think, that there could have been just no one was getting open. I mean, there were a couple plays where Mahomes, it's kind of like the Super Bowl where he's running around for 10 seconds, but then there still isn't anything open. So what are you going to do there? You can't really blame him for that. And part of it was, good defensive adjustments by Cincinnati. We can't take that away from them. But no, what this too is I think about back in the first half, this time management stuff ended up basically costing them. Who knows if it cost them the game, but it might have, because you think about Andy Reid called a timeout in the first half to think about if he wanted to challenge, which he then went on to challenge, which is an inexcusable mistake for a head coach to make. It just is. How in the world do you call a timeout before challenging? Just throw the flag. You rarely run out of challenges. It's not like that bad if you lose a challenge, but you're already going to lose a timeout anyways if you get it wrong. You might not lose a timeout if you get it right. They won the challenge there, but only had 2 timeouts left at the end there. That kind of ruined the way they game planned, but still, Mahomes has to be better as well. Mahomes can't throw that ball to Tyreek Hill in the flat unless he's sure Hill is going to score there, or at least feels Hill has a good chance of scoring, because again, you're risking 3 points to get 7. So if you have a 60% chance to score, okay, fine, take that chance. That's a fine gamble. But they didn't. They had a 20% chance to score, I think. And so you got to be better than that. And good tackle by Eli Apple. Again, Eli Apple made some big plays in this stretch for Cincinnati. People are making fun of him on Twitter, but he has made some big plays. He's gotten burnt as well. He's not a fantastic corner, but again, if you're not going to be a fantastic corner, at least show up and make some splash plays. And he nearly had the game winner, as we mentioned. Back to Mahomes for a second. I mean, I guess that's kind of just my thing. Is Mahomes needs to be better, and these are things that were plaguing Mahomes his entire season. This is not new for Mahomes. In fact, this has been the past several years, and I'm a Mahomes defender. There was a legitimate conversation of have defenses figured out Mahomes? Is Mahomes overrated? And I was saying, okay, hold on. You can't figure out this talent. This talent is incredible, but did Mahomes make too many mistakes and cost his team a trip to the AFC Championship game? Yes, he did. There's no denying that. And he's been doing this all season, where when teams force them to make methodical drives and not be able to march down the field, well, they did it to some degree. Mahomes was able to figure some stuff out and make it work to some degree. But were they able to do it with consistency? No. They just weren't. And especially once things cooled down, with all those great scrambles, which some of those scrambles backfired, right? He got a little bit too scramble happy at times. I thought he was leaving clean pockets at times in this game. So it'll be interesting to get the All-22 and really be able to dive into what happened, what went wrong, what went right, because again, that blunder at the end of the first half, all of those turnover-worthy plays, the 3-and-out after 3-and-out after 3-and-out that was seemingly happening in the second half, all of that led to the Bengals comeback. Joe Burrow's going to get all the credit. He deserves a ton, but this was just as much failure from the Chiefs offense in the second half, which was so red hot in the first half. Crazy how really from the blunder at the end of the first half on, it was like two different offenses. And again, Mahomes is incredible. Let's not get crazy here. Let's not pretend Mahomes sucks now. No, the Chiefs have gone to 4 straight AFC Championship games. The only reason they're in this one is because of Patrick Mahomes and because of the work he did late in that Buffalo game to tie it up, right? And Mahomes is going to get all the blame. He does not deserve all the blame. Andy Reid deserves some blame. I thought they could have ran the ball more when you're up and that was working. Again, I criticize Zach Taylor for running the ball too much, so it goes both ways. I don't hate the decision to not. But I think there still is some blame to be had on Andy Reid here when Cincinnati did start to change stuff up. This has been the criticism of Andy Reid is he's not the best at adjusting, right? Cincinnati starts playing a lot more man, and it seemed like Kansas City was still running the plays that they were having success with against zone instead of changing things. So that was kind of maybe a thing you could point to as well. The receiver is not getting open. And really, I don't get why the Chiefs didn't go after Odell Beckham Jr. I still don't understand that. It would have made total sense. They need a third option. And the third option, if you watch my video where my film study on it, you'll see that that third option really loomed large on certain plays. They needed someone better than Byron Pringle or Mecole Hardman, who both have done some things even in this postseason run. But you need a third option. A lot of times, teams can take away your top 2 options. They can't really take away your top 3 options. So that was a real issue. And people are going to say, well, you have Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill can't do it all alone. He can do a lot. Ask Aaron Rodgers. You need more than one good receiver. And even with Kelsey, you really need more than 2 good receivers to have success. That third option is important. But that being said, there was still stuff Mahomes could do. There was. And you could at least not make the mistakes, right? You could have at least not made the blunder at the end of the half. You could have not kept trying to give the ball to the other team late in that stretch. Those are the things that I think Mahomes really struggled with, and I think that if Mahomes cleans that up, he's going to just take the world by storm. He's going to win 7 Super Bowls, right? But that's the thing, though, is how often do we see guys actually clean that stuff up? This might just be part of Mahomes, is he sometimes will do stuff like that. Sometimes he will put the ball in harm's way. He's a gunslinger. This is why he got Brett Favre comparisons. And listen, give me one pick on which quarterback I would take. I would pick Patrick Mahomes, but it's not as obvious as it was last year. There's no denying that. This was a disappointing season from Mahomes. The flip side is a disappointing season from Mahomes is still leading the highest rated offense in terms of points per drive. 2.8 points per drive was the best in football, and going to the AFC Championship game and losing in overtime. So even a down year for Mahomes is career years for other guys, but this was a down year from him. He's got to play better. That's what I think. And again, Joe Burrow, he wasn't perfect either. He made that one interception, but that was kind of it. He just had that one massive blunder and played well outside of it. So that was the difference. I got largely criticized on my podcast for saying that I felt like I don't know if Patrick Mahomes is the clear upgrade from Joe Burrow, given the way these two guys have played this season. And I think this game backed that up. But that's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. I'm sure there will be some hot takes in this one. So hope you guys enjoyed it. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.